start recording on the mixer in five, four, three.
Yo, 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 what's happening? What's happening? Hey, I'm just happy now, man, because I never got a chance to sit with somebody so intelligent and will be running for mayor. I mean, not will, but are running for mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. I want to introduce him, but I'm going to let him introduce himself. So, introduce yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm Socrates Garrett, and as you say, I'm a candidate for mayor of the city of Jackson. So I'm a CEO of several enterprises that I started, I'm the founder of, and have been operating for over 40 years in this metropolitan area.
Yeah.
So I get up early in the mornings and I get my tack hammer and my chisel and I go to the mountain.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, give the people a little information about yourself.
Yeah, born here in Mississippi, born in Farm Haven, Mississippi. That's east of Canton and west of Carthage, somewhere in the middle between those two great cities. And went to school out in Camden, Mississippi at Velma Jackson, and then went down to Piney Woods Country Life School and did some work down there, and then graduated from Alcorn State University. Went into the military and served my time there, did my duty for my country, came out and became a representative for Xerox Corporation, became branch sales manager for Xerox Corporation in Jackson, Mississippi, and Dallas, Texas. Left there and started my own enterprise in 1980. So I've been signing the back of the check since 1980.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, what made you want to run for mayor of
Well,
Jackson?
yeah, I mean, we all see that Jackson needs some help. And I have been extremely successful in business. And my pastor said to me that one day, you have been successful. Now it's time for you to do something significant. And by that, I understood that it's time for me to give back more than I already have. As an entrepreneur and a successful one, I've given a lot to the community in terms of sponsoring schools, in terms of sponsoring children, in terms of hiring people other people would not hire. I've done all of that. But it's time now for me to be able to impact more lives. And as mayor of the city of Jackson, I can touch more businesses than ever before. I can teach them what I know and how I've acquired this knowledge. I'm dying to share this information with the next generation on a larger scale than me one-on-one.
Yeah.
That platform will allow me to do that, and I'll make a significant difference in Jackson.
Oh, that's what's up. So your focus point is business.
Well, as a CEO, it is
Yes.
business.
Yeah, yeah.
As the mayor of Jackson, it's a multitask, multifaceted enterprise.
Yeah.
I have the experience of running several divisions and several companies at one time, so I'm ideally suited for this job. But my focus is to bring people back to Jackson.
Hmm.
See, sometimes people get it confused of what the mayor's number one priority is. His number one priority is to bring revenue into the city, to grow the enterprise. Just like any CEO, number one, can you increase our revenue? So I got to bring businesses back to Jackson. I got to bring people back to Jackson as my number one priority. Then I have to establish my organization. Let's make absolutely certain that we got the most competent people in the right position that we can get.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to require that they live in Jackson, of course.
Oh, that's
But,
what's up.
they don't have to live in Jackson for me to hire them, but at some point in time, they have to move to Jackson because Jackson is for Jacksonians. So those are two primary things. Then I'll get into a litany of things I got to deal with, and potholes and
Yeah,
streets
we're gonna
and
talk
water
about all
and
that.
wastewater. I mean, we can just go
Here we
wherever you
go.
want to go.
Yeah, but that was one of my questions was tonight was about the business. Like, how do you feel about Jackson? Like, we getting business, we ain't getting that many, but they sneaking in, But we got a lot of business leaving.
Right.
Like, how do you feel about that?
Right. Well, we got to stop the outward migration. And we
What
got
you
to,
mean about that?
I mean, we cannot allow our existing businesses to move out of Jackson.
Yeah.
I got to know exactly what they need. I got to visit the businesses in Jackson and say, look, tell me what it is that we can do for you to make things better in Jackson. That's my job. If I can't maintain what I have, it's going to be difficult for me to outperform and outrace the bringing businesses in when they're constantly leaving. I got to maintain and gain.
Mm-hmm.
I got to maintain what I have, and I got to bring new ones in. So initially, I'm going to focus on maintaining.
Yeah.
Let's stop this outward migration.
I like how you said it because a lot of business leaving.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when business leave, people leave too.
That's right. That's right. And children
so,
leave.
Everybody just leaves. So it really
right.
ain't no revenue coming in Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So check this out. With the current situation of Jackson, all the business leaving it, but like I said, the songs steady coming. They sneaking in. You know what I'm saying? With the business leaving, the family leaving, and all that stuff. Like, how can you get people to come back other than business?
Well, there are several things there. One is that you have to restore trust and accountability in government.
Yeah.
And then you got to make sure that the education system is performing properly. You got to reduce the crime. All of these things are pushing people out. Crime, bad streets, education system, lack of trust. I got to reaffirm and reestablish those things before I can go out and actively recruit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to build a new housing stock for my CEOs that are coming in. Jackson doesn't have new houses to offer, so I have to have new developments with all of the amenities that a CEO might want.
Yeah.
That's up to date and modern. So I got to have a housing platform as well to bring people back. And then I got to just burn the airways up. I got to develop relationship with sister cities. I got to get over to foreign countries. I got to say, look, check our weather, check our location. We're 200 miles from anywhere you want to be. We're 200 miles from New Orleans. We're 200 miles from Shreveport, 200 miles from Mobile, 200 miles from Birmingham, 200 miles from Memphis.
Yep.
Interstate 55 and 20 intersect in Jackson, east and west and north and south. We are ideally suited for economic development and opportunity. We've just had poor leadership, and I intend to put an end to that.
With that being said, when I was gonna get right to that after that, with the leadership, like we all know what's going on. It's a lot of corruption going on.
Right.
And like you said, you got a clean house.
Right.
Like now, when you get in, if you get in to be mayor, like how would you clean house?
Well, first of all, I want to identify the fact that Jackson does have some crime issues and it has some corruption issues. But those are two separate things in my mind.
Yeah.
Now, on the corruption side, we can't have people in office that need the job. We can't have people in office where they are suffering or other people have their mortgage notes, they are tired. We can't have people in leadership positions that are already compromised.
I see what you're saying.
You can't be an effective leader if you're compromised. And that's why I said I've been successful. Now I can give back and become significant, but I'm not beholden.
Yeah.
I don't need the job. I'm not beholden to anyone, so I can do the job. And I'm not interested in boat rides, airplane flights. I'm not interested in dining. You can't get me in the body paint enterprises. My days of worrying about the skirt tails or gone. I can see it, and it doesn't bother me. And a young man, it bothers him.
Yeah.
And so I'm at the right time in my life to be able to manage through this difficult and most complex scenario of running this great city.
That's what's up. So let's get to I got the key points I want to talk about. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We done touched on it a little bit, but we finna get into it.
Let's go.
First key point was crime.
Yeah.
Like the crime is bad. We all know the crime bad in Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So what can you end up, not what can you do before we get to what you can do? Like the crime is with the younger generation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're the older generation doing something, but when it comes to most of the crime in Jackson, it's teenagers and young adults from like 25 and 18 and 25.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So what can you do? You can't stop it. What can you do to slow it down?
Look, I can make crime move. Sometimes I might not can stop it, but I can make it move if I choose to.
All right, now
Okay,
break it down. Break it down.
I'm not necessarily going to choose to, but I could make it move.
Yeah.
Look, the young generation is got to have something to do. They got to have jobs and they got to have opportunities. They got to have role models that they see. When they see folk like me, they stop for a moment and they say, well, I can do that. Here's a self-made man. I can get this done. So when I'm in these communities, which I am all of the time, we're one of the largest contractors in the state of Mississippi. I tear down more abandoned buildings than anyone else in Jackson, Mississippi. So when I'm in those communities, I got 9, 10-year-olds walking the street with Uzis, with their pants and sagging. And when they get to me, they say, OG, what are you doing here? And I'll say, I'm trying to clean this place up. And I said, do you need a job? No, I don't need a job. I said, yeah, you need a job, and I'm here to give you an opportunity. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to secure and guard my equipment at night while I'm gone. Now, that does two things. One, it really stops him from tearing up my equipment that's out there in the beginning, and I establish a dialogue with him. I can have a conversation with him about other things, but I first got to be able to get his attention. And so when they come to me and they say, Big Cheese, what we doing today? Because I'm in that neighborhood. And when you in there, you better be able to communicate with them and let them understand that you're not looking down on them. When they see me out there with those workers, they understand that I'm not asking a man to do something that I won't do myself. So I got to focus on youth. Now, in my building, a couple months ago, I had 1,500 18 to 25-year-olds in the parking lot celebrating after the Jackson State homecoming. I can show you the videos, etc. Yeah. I stay there with them. I created a trail ride for them down on McDowell Road. So down there, I put a stage down there, and I put the trail ride down there for them to ride their horses and their four-wheelers, and a Halloween event where you can scare people coming out of the woods. I'm trying my best to reach and talk to them because it's critically important that they see us, that we care about what they're going through. Secondly, they're poor. I got to make poverty move. You see, where there's a lot of poverty, you're going to have increased crime.
Yeah.
And I know that any man is capable of doing crime. Any man is, including my pastor. You see, it's just that his conditions and his environment doesn't require it. You know, so I got to reach them. I want a Job Corps center back in Jackson, Mississippi, so that we are training our young people and providing them opportunities. When I go to businesses to ask them what they need, I'm telling them what I need. And what do I need? I need my young folk working.
I like that.
I need opportunity. You need contracts. You need work opportunities for me. What do I need? I need jobs program. I need young folks being employed. I need training people. I need you sponsoring things in our city.
I like that.
And so it's a relationship with the business, understanding what a good corporate citizenship means, and then understanding what government should do in a public-private partnership.
Yeah, I like that. Now you kind of sold me on that because that top of the lawn would get some people to vote for you. You know what I'm saying? Now that top of the lawn will get some people to vote for you. Now this type of here will get some people to vote for you too.
Okay.
Infrastructure.
Man,
I'm talking about the water, the potholes, just like you said, knocking buildings down, abandoned houses, everything. How would you try to fix that problem?
Look, I'm a 40-year contractor. I know how to fix streets and water lines and sewer lines. I replaced them. I put all of the water lines in Madison for Mayor Mary Hawkins Butler.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, I've done water lines in Minot, North Dakota in November. I've done it in Puerto Rico in the Virgin Islands. I know how to fix these streets. So what am I going to do that? I'm going to require every contractor that works for this city that's repairing our street to warranty their work. That means for the next 5 years, if a pothole develops on a street that you repaired or you worked on, you're going to come fix it back on your dime, not mine. Now, once I put that policy in place, he's going to fix it right the first time because he can't afford to come back.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to make him warranty that. I'm going to go to the material people like the asphalt companies and say, look, I got a little issue with the quality of the asphalt that you're selling me.
Yeah.
Okay. I got an issue with the number grade pipes and that the piping companies are selling me. If I find that I'm getting subgrade material, you're not going to be a supplier in the city of Jackson anymore.
Yeah.
So I want you to do the right thing by us. So we're going to fix the streets right the first time, and then we're going to hold everybody accountable. I'm going to hold my public works director accountable because he's going to be an engineer. I'm not going to have an academic person in charge of public works.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know what he's doing.
I know what he's doing, yeah.
I got to have an engineer over public works, and I got to have an architect over planning. So I got to bring these people to my team, and they're going to get this done, and I'm going to set the tone for it, but they're going to make it happen.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, because, like, man, the power, like, out of the crime, next thing beside the crime, the people want the potholes and the abandoned houses, all that gone.
They do.
They want it gone, you know what I'm saying? And I'm from Jackson. I live in Jackson and everything. So
Right.
I want it gone, too.
I know you
what
do.
I'm
We
saying?
all do. We
Yeah,
all
we
do. And I was in St. Louis and Detroit, and they've just cleaned those cities up. You know, all of the abandoned properties are almost gone now. We have not had a lot of cooperation between state and city governments.
Yeah.
A lot of the abandoned houses in Jackson are owned by the state of Mississippi.
Oh.
You see, when one loses their property from taxes, it goes to the state. Then the state has a responsibility that it's not living up to, either maintaining it or demolishing it. So I got to go to the governor, the lieutenant governor, the speaker of the house and say, hey, come here now. I'm already carrying you because you don't pay any taxes in my city. So every state agency, every state building, every hospital, they're not paying taxes to me. All my nonprofits and my churches, they're not paying taxes to me. So you got to get up off of that. You got to say that I have a responsibility to clean this city up, to take care of my abandoned properties, to demolish the things that I own, and we're all going to work on this together.
Yeah.
Then the houses that city stock that we own, we're going to tear it down, clean it up, and it's going to be gone. I'm going to put a contractor in every ward so that we spread this workload out, and so that when North Jackson gets fixed, when all of the abandoned property is gone, South Jackson will occur at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the current method is that everybody's trying to go out the small end of the horn, and we got to go one at a time.
One at a time.
That's too slow for us.
Yeah.
So we gotta go out the bell end of the horn, and I'm gonna get that done by employing and positioning contractors with a specific scope in a specific area that I can come back and evaluate.
I like that. I like that.
Okay.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
The surrounding cities look at Jackson like poo.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you, like you said, you'll go talk to our sister, our brother, counties and stuff like that. But, like, what can you do to get back on good terms with other cities?
Well, I come into the job in good standing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I come in there. I talk to Mayor Gary Rose over in Flowood, who's retiring this year. I talk to Mary Hawkins Butler. When she sees me, it's a big old embrace. I talk to Gene McGee over there in Richland. I know these mayors. I talk to the Speaker of the House, the Lieutenant Governor, Deborah Hoseman is a friend of mine. I talk to the Speaker of the House. I don't talk to the governor as much as I should. But I talked to Haley Barbour, who is the most influential Republican in the state of Mississippi, period.
Yeah, he really is.
He
You can't
really
take
is.
that from him.
And he is on speed dial with me. So when I say that I need some help here, that I expect them to sit down and say, let's repair the relationship. We cannot continue to allow the capital city to deteriorate. We cannot let this hole in the donut, become an eyesore greater than it is. We got to turn this around. There's a lot of negotiations got to be done. A lot of trading got to be done. We got to find common ground. We got to talk about the airport. We got to talk about the water supply company. We got to talk about who's managing the wastewater. We got to talk about the sanitation department and how that's being handled. All of these things got to point to one central theme: restoration of the capital city, and make it a destination for people to come to. See, we don't have smokestacks, so I don't have industry. But what I do have geography that's great, and we talked about that.
Yeah.
I do have the mighty Pearl River that's sitting on our banks. When I was in Oklahoma City, they had these boats that were paddling around downtown. So I said, where are they getting the water from? They don't have no river nowhere close to Oklahoma. They had to pump water in there to have a waterfront. I'm sitting here with the Pearl River. And while the reservoir, which is created for Jackson as a water supply company, most people don't know that, while it provides recreation, etc., it's not benefiting Jackson. So I got to get down there on Jefferson Street, and I want a casino down there, and I want to build this place up to a point where people are saying, well, we're going for vacation. We're going to Jackson. I got to get that done, and I need help to do that. I need the governor. I need the Republicans. I need everybody to buy into this vision. Yeah. And most of all, I can't have any dissension with our leadership, with the council, and with our Hinds County delegation. I'm going to have quarterly luncheons with them. I'm going to say, look, we're going to talk. Now, if you see something that the city is not doing that's causing us not to have favor on the legislation, let's correct it. Yeah. But it's not going to be, he was on your team and he was on your team. I'm not speaking to you because you said this or you did that. Quite frankly, I think that I'm looking at bringing 2 of the top vote getters into my administration because they had good ideas.
Yeah.
And we got to demonstrate that we can work together. So I think I can get that done.
All right. Hey, you talking a good game right now, man.
I know what I'm doing.
See that? So check this out.
Okay.
One big thing that hit Jackson hard too was with the trash.
Yeah.
With the waste management, changing companies out, like,
yeah.
But other states not going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the problem with the trash problem in Jackson? Then the other states not having. Like, do we got the funding, or do we got the funding to keep a certain trash company, or we just don't, or we trying to save money and just move with another trash company? Because everywhere else got waste management.
Yeah. Let me be clear on this. This is a touchy area here.
Yeah.
We have to build Jackson businesses. We have to create our economy. We can no longer allow companies to come in here, do all of the work, and go back home to somewhere else. I don't care if you're in Ridgeland or if you're in New York City. For example, the wastewater treatment company that's running our wastewater plant, Viola, is headquarters in England. The Jacobs that's running our drinking water plant currently under a 10-year contract are headquartered in New York City. What I'm saying to them is this: you can come into Jackson and do business, but you are going to have to help me develop a business base. So I want a minority company working on that contract as a joint venture partner. Any contract over $15 million or any contract over 10 years will have a mandatory joint venture with a local contractor, with the understanding that one day that company is going to be able to compete with you. I'm not making any bones about that. What I'm saying to you is that you cannot joint venture with a doctor on a garbage contract.
Yeah, yeah.
You hear what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I see what you're
We got
saying
a
now.
lot of that foolishness going on that they come in here and they choose to partner with people and firms that have nothing to do with the industry that they represent. So whether it's waste management, whether it's the internal company that rises up with the capacity to do that, they, I don't care if they black and out of state, they still gonna joint venture with a local company when they come into this city. And then finally, ultimately, I'm gonna look at bringing all these services back in-house. And I'm gonna say, okay, I got all these 18, 25-year-olds out here with no jobs, but I'm contracting out all of my sanitation work.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe I ought not be doing that. Maybe I ought to put my people to work, and we ought to buy some trucks, and we ought to buy some track hoes, and we ought to buy some dozers, and we ought to have a job training school inside of the public works department where I'm bringing out operators and plumbers and electricians. I'm providing and creating my own. And then I know how to unbundle these contracts. You see, if it's $1 million contract, small firms, African American firms in Jackson can't bond it. But if I got $200,000 contract, I'm in their strike zone.
Yeah.
I'm in their strike zone. They said I can bond that and I can do that work. I'm going to work with them in that regard. So I have a lot of ideas on how to get the right company with the right relationship between the companies to do this work, and everybody gonna be happy.
Hey, man, hey, you selling me. Hey, you got me. You got me opening my eyes up to it.
I'm getting close.
Yeah,
to
you getting close.
your vote.
Yeah,
I'm
you
getting close.
you getting close to get my vote.
Okay.
So check this out.
All right.
Another thing is like people say the people that's in places now in Jackson, the wards and all that, people in people in power now are old.
Yeah.
And they saying they stuck in their ways.
Right.
Like they don't want to do none of the new ways. Like stuff changed. They don't want to do none of the new way. They want to keep everything the old way.
Right.
How you feel about that?
Well, I disagree with that concept. I don't think that the people in charge now are old. I think they are the generation after me. I'm old. They are the generation after me. The problem I'm having with them, and we created this problem, there is no connection between building and creating opportunities inside of your own environment. Yeah. So when I look at our mayor, current mayor, what is he, 41 at the most? Yeah. I look at our council people, they're in their 40s and stuff like that. So the old heads, the gray hair has been kind of replaced. It's a mistake in that. What we got to do is keep the wisdom in the room, but have the energy and the youth running things. They have the ability to go at it and get it right. They just don't have the understanding of what's required. And so I'm creating a position of vice mayor that is going to be a 35, 40-year-old person that at the end of 4 years, they'll know everything I know. They'll see this organization. They'll understand how it's supposed to perform. And when they step into that job, I'm not going to leave them then. I got to stay there and say, look, this temptation here is greater than you can handle because I understand your maturity level.
Yeah.
This is a little bit too much for you, so we're going to walk with you through here. We're going to keep you out of this trouble. And my Kenneth Stokes told me once, he said, look, don't make no new friends. Because this is when the FBI is in the city and they're looking at everything. They may go down there looking at one specific area, but during discovery, they get to look at everything.
Everything, yeah.
And they look at everybody. And so he said, look, don't make no new friends, not now. And don't deal with no old friends that you haven't seen in a long time. Now, that's wisdom. So if a scandal approaches me, the first thing I want to ask him is, who your folk? Where you come from?
Yeah.
Who do you know I know? You know, how did you get here? Who recommended you?
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about these basic kind of things, so that we gotta keep our young people in place. Old people can't run the country, and they can't run this thing past a certain point. But we can fix it.
Yeah.
Now I can fix it, and then they gotta run it. But it's gonna take something a little bit more than you to repair it. And so that's what we got to do. So there's a place for people in their 80s. You look at Donald Trump, he's running the country. 85% of America voted for him in there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, the wrong
Yeah.
reason. But he and Biden both were too old for the job. But when you go back and you look at Bill Clinton, of the youth that we had in the presidential, and if you go back before that, there were always issues. And that's why I'm most proud of Barack Obama, not because of what he did, but he was scandal-free. And I give Michelle credit for that. She probably wouldn't have put up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But, you know, so we got to have a combination of the old and the young.
All right. And since you said the scandal and stuff, like when everything popped out, the FBI,
Yeah.
they hit Jackson hard. They hit the politics, all they downtown, they hit it hard.
Yeah.
Like, how bad did that make Jackson look?
Looks real bad. It looks real bad. But I want to remind your audience that Mississippi is the poorest state in the nation. The poorest state in the nation is going to have the highest crime and corruption. There is a correlation.
Yeah.
So when I look at the scandal, the welfare scandal in the state of Mississippi with Brett Favre and all
yeah.
the guys down there, we are ripe for corruption because of poverty, and you're looking for a way to change your economic conditions. And it's not the right way to do it, but we're ripe for it. And so Jackson is just the cosmic reflection of what's going on in the state. So we're no more corrupt than the state is. When the city of Jackson is no more corrupt than all activities in the state of Mississippi, some known, some unknown. Now, when the FBI comes in here, it makes us look bad. And it's a real black mark on the city and our people, because industry won't come. The marketplace shuts down. No one will move into the environment when there's an active investigation going on, because if you look hard enough and deep enough in any pocket, you can find corruption at some level. So you don't want them here in the first place. So it makes us look bad. Now, what bothers me about them being here is many times I think it's entrapment. I think they go a bit too far in certain areas. For example, a good friend of mine, Marshawn Chrysler, was convicted of selling bullets to an ex-felon. Now, guys, yeah, maybe he did sell a bullet to the ex-felon. Trump pardoned the mayor of New York City. He pardoned everybody that was associated with January 6th.
Yeah.
And I got a good and decent man going to jail for selling a bullet in Mississippi. So my heart bleeds for him in that regard. It was wrong, but it was not. It was entrapment, because the FBI set it up, and they followed in that trap. It was entrapment on the mayor and the city councils, etc. You come to them, you present them with an opportunity to do wrong, they take it. But if you didn't present it to them, if you didn't present Angelique Lee with the shopping spree opportunity, she could never take it.
Yeah.
So you come in here and you wave these things in front of poor people, and then you want to know why they fell for it.
They fall for it.
Yeah. So it's a black mark, but we got to understand how not to get caught up in it, and then we got to understand that we're not alone in it, that Jackson shouldn't be singled out as a corrupt city anymore, than any other city in America, quite frankly. It is only to the extent that we're poor that we have more crime and corruption.
That's understanding.
Yeah.
That's understanding. Another thing, like I had got on I got on my Facebook and I had reached out to a couple people like I'm having you like what questions, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, they want.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said this question.
Yeah.
Fast Street. Like do the mayor have the power to fix Fair Street? You know what I'm saying? Or you like you said, bring investors in to fix it themselves. Like, how can you get Fair Street going?
Well, first of all, the mayor has the power to fix anything inside of Jackson. That's his job. He got the power and he's got the mandate. When you get elected, you have the authority and the mandate to fix that.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he can fix it. Now, let's take Farrar Street. For me, it's an entertainment district. But for me, in my city, it's too small. I need a Farrar Street that's equivalent to Bourbon Street in New Orleans or the Strip in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I need something that we can turn into a tourist entertainment district. So I want to deal with Farrar Street and I want to stabilize that. I put personal money in Farrar Street, over $500,000 of personal money, trying to bring that street back to life. Me and a lot of other business people. The city didn't put a dime in it, not one dime. So I'm sitting there saying that as the mayor, I would have been all over that. I'm matching your money. I'm matching any private money. I'm watching this very carefully, and we're going to get this done. The state put some money in Farrar Street, but our city did not. So people get confused.
Yeah.
And so I could fix Farrar Street, and that won't be hard for me. But I'm going to move out to a new entertainment district. Farrar Street is a historic district.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be an entertainment district. And we need to get the difference between them two.
Okay.
Okay, I need an entertainment district. That's why I'm saying, that I got to anchor it with a casino on the river. I got to anchor it with big-time businesses in the entertainment industry, the B.B. Kings and the Little Willies and all of that stuff across the country. But I got to put them out where people can get to them. And so I wanted to turn Highway 80 into my entertainment corridor and rebuild that, coming down to where we have all our parades down through there. Mm-hmm. And I can still do that to an extent, but it's a federal highway, and they're not going to give me the autonomy that I need with it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find what's best suited for Jackson as an entertainment district. You see, Fondren has got a business improvement district.
Yeah.
Okay, that allows them to do things that other parts of town are not able to do. They can tax themselves. Oh. They can go to the businesses and say, we want to create this corridor for ourselves, and we're going to pay for it.
Oh.
Although other citizens in Jackson can't do that. You don't have taxing authority. And so I got to give taxing authority to my business improvement districts in West and South Jackson and to my entertainment district once I lock in on where it really should be in this city. I'm looking at Livingston Road. I'm looking at that medical mall over there around in that area, and that's Woodrow Wilson that runs all out through there. I can get through Woodrow Wilson better than I can get through Medgar Evers because it too is a Federal Highway 49. And so that's why Willie Simmons, the commissioner, put money over there. Yeah. But he didn't put no money on Woodrow Wilson. So I could create the entertainment district that runs all the way from State Street on Woodrow Wilson all the way out to 220 and anchor it in the Metro Center Mall as a corridor. And that could be something really magnificent.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
That would be real nice in Jackson because, man, we need it.
Right.
We need the revenue coming in.
We need revenue bad.
We need revenue real bad, cause that's why everything look like it look in Jackson, because of we ain't got that much revenue, or do we got the revenue? It just ain't been spent in the right place.
Combination of both. Lack of revenue, not enough revenue. The federal government sent us $800 million to help fix the water crisis in Jackson.
Yeah.
It takes that kind of money, $800 million. We don't have $800 million in the city of Jackson that we can do something with. So it's a combination of the two. We're not handling the money that we have properly, and then we don't have enough in the first place. It's kind of like having half of your rent. You know, when you got half of your rent, what do? You say, I'm going to go to the boat. Now I'm going to the boat because I need the money to pay the other half of my rent, but what I'm going to end up doing is losing the half that I have.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we have half of our rent. Now, what I got to do is to find a way to bring revenue in. So here's what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on asking the legislature and the surrounding mayors to institute a 20% revenue sharing on sales tax, a regional sales tax. Anything that's bought in the metropolitan area, which has got 700,000 people in it, Jackson needs a part of those sales tax dollars back in our city. And they're going to say, why? Why would we do that? Well, you have a responsibility to do it because you moved all of your business outside of Jackson, so Jacksonians don't have nowhere to shop.
Oh, now that's smart.
We got to come out to you and buy stuff from you. All 160,000 of us have to come to Dogwood, have to come to North Park, have to come to the Renaissance.
Man.
We can't buy it in Jackson, so all I'm asking you to do is be fair here and say that of the sales tax that your people are spending with us, I'm going to send a part of that back to Jackson on a regional sales tax. See, we got to have new creative ideas, and then we got to have visionary leadership that presents it to the Speaker of the House, the Lieutenant Governor, the Hinds County delegation, and the surrounding mayors of saying how we're going to help Jackson increase its revenue to fix its streets.
Yeah. Man, I never thought of it.
Okay.
Now, that's smart. Now, you said you was a business CEO, businessman. Hey, and now if you can make that happen, you think you really can make that happen?
It's a great concept, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great concept.
See, it ain't far off because the metropolitan area wants to talk about metro government. You hear that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They want to talk about metro government. I don't. I want to talk about a regional sales tax.
Yeah.
So if you can get to metro government, then you ought to be able to get to a regional sales tax and a concept. So I think I can get to them, explain to them that, without your help, we're going to all suffer because our capital city has got to be improved and protected and brought back to excellence. Mm-hmm. And it takes money to do that.
There's one more thing I want to talk about. Okay. Downtown. It's a lot of abandoned business downtown.
Yes.
But, I tried to get a building downtown before.
Okay.
But I'm talking about it was raggedy. You know what I'm saying? It was raggedy, but it wasn't nothing around. Mm-hmm. I was trying to get a spot, wasn't nothing around this spot, and it still was so high. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Well, actually, Jackson is on a rebound in Fondren and downtown in that Bellhaven corridor. Jackson is really on the move over there, and prices are going to continue to increase.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know who owned that building that you were looking at. Yeah. I don't know if it was privately owned and they set their price on it, and the market dictates what you're going to pay for property.
All right.
Investors, they do whatever they want to do. They can sell it lower, they can keep it higher, they can do whatever. Because they're banking on the fact that Jackson's downtown is coming back. But if it's a city-owned building, if it's property that we have acquired through the lack of someone paying their taxes and we now own it, I'm going to help you get in the building. I'm going to say to you that, look, your first 90 days on electricity is on me. I'm going to say that you're not tax deferment. You're not going to pay no property taxes for 5, 10 years. I'm going to keep that off of you. I have a incubator here and a loan program that I want to help you get in this building.
Yeah.
I want to buy whatever you're going to be selling in this building so that I can make sure that you're successful. I'm your best partner. See, business. I watched this in The Godfather movie a long time ago. They were moving into Cuba, and the old man said, "I'm moving into Cuba because there's nothing more important to business than a friendly government." We got to be a friendly government. Whatever we can do to make you successful in business, we got to take a serious look at that. That's why I said in the beginning of our conversation, I got to maintain what we got, and I got to gain. Only way I'm going to maintain and gain is I maintain by understanding what they need, but I'm going to gain by giving you what you need to come in here.
Yeah.
And I can do that. And we do that all the time. Hinds County put $15 million in the garage that's going into Fondren. I need them to put $2 million in your concept and your idea downtown. We put another $17 million over in the jail going over on McDowell Road. $35 million that Hinds County put into economic development in those kind of institutions. But they're not putting anything into small entrepreneurs, which everybody says is the backbone of the country. Small business is the backbone of the country. That's all you hear. Well, what are we investing in a small business then that indicates that we understand that? Yeah. Not a lot. So as mayor of this city, we're going to sit down and look at what our inventory of property is, and we're going to advertise it. And we're going to say that if you're willing to relocate into Jackson, Mississippi, we're going to help you. The state spent $50 million or more bringing Nissan into Madison County. We always spend money to bring business to our area. Hundreds of millions of dollars to get them in our area. We got to take the same philosophy, the same concept, and extend it to our small business people.
Man, if y'all can do that, it'll be a lot of business around. Because we got a lot of people that do cooking in the area. They want their own restaurants and stuff like that. If y'all can help the small business like that, man, Jackson will be flowing with money.
Look, I'm the guy to get that done. I'm the guy, first of all, that's got the concept. When I listen to those people that are running for mayor against me, for the city, however you want to call it, they don't have the concepts down right. They talk about nebulous things like, I know John and I know Jim and, I ran Stew Pot and I've been in this job for 35 years. But they don't articulate a strategy and a vision for fixing Jackson because they don't know it. But it's okay. We got to train them where they will know it one day. But when they get in their job, they got to institute and carry on a certain policy.
Yeah.
And so my job is to fix this situation right now and make absolutely certain that our leadership takes it forward.
All right. I like that, man. But before we get out of here,
okay,
give my audience one reason why they should vote for you.
Well, I tell you, it's really simple. I'm the most qualified candidate for the job. I'm a CEO. I run multiple enterprises. I run billions of dollars in corporations every year. I've done businesses all over the world. I talked about the Virgin Islands and things of that nature. I'm the most qualified candidate for this job. I'm experienced in many ways. I've run the wastewater treatment plant. I've run the president. I've done all those things. I'm invested. I put $10 million of personal money in to try to bring in the Metro Center back, me and Leroy Walker and Howard Kitchens. $10 million of personal money, no state money, trying to do that. I'm invested. I told you I had $500,000 trying to bring Ferry Street back. We pay over $100,000 a year in property taxes. I'm a candidate that my campaign headquarters is in my building. I'm the guy that signs the back of the check, not the front of the check. I'm invested and I'm committed. When I made my money, I didn't run away. I have enough money to move to Brookwood and not Brookwood, Bridgewater. Where it is a bit.
Yeah.
I see how people are living out there on 463 in Florida. I see the houses. I see the rolling hills. I see the horses. We all would like to have that. But that area didn't make me. Jackson did. Jackson gave me my opportunities through Mayor Harvey Johnson and other black leaders and civil rights icons that fought for us to have an opportunity. I'm what they were trying to create. Yeah. When Stokely and Malcolm and Martin were giving up their lives, they were trying to create me, an individual that had the capacity and the opportunity to do some good things. So I'm experienced, I'm invested, and I'm committed, and I want to be your next mayor.
And that's it. Hey, y'all heard it. Y'all heard from him. He want to be the next mayor. Make sure y'all go back, watch this, man. Get the point, all the good points y'all heard, all the good points he said. Man, y'all get these points, listen to them, take them, and think on it. Because, man, it's a lot of y'all running.
It is.
It's a lot of y'all running. It threw me out because, when I see how many people was running, right, I said, man, that's a lot of people. It used to be like 3 to 4. Right. But I think it's about 10. 20. See there? It's 20 mayors running. I need y'all to take y'all time, go watch this interview, and sit down and just pick out the good key points of what you heard from this guy. And from sitting in front of him, I think he know what he talking about. No doubt. So he said, Mr. CEO, I'm gonna call him Mr. CEO. Y'all call him whatever. I'm gonna call him Mr. CEO. Right. And like he said, we probably need to see it to be ran on some CEO type stuff. That's right. You know what I'm saying? We need to bring the business back. We need to put Jackson back on the map. That's right. We need to put our city back on the map. Like I said, man, thank you for coming out. You know
thank you for having me.
And, you got a Facebook, any other platform you want them to, you know what I'm saying, you doing your campaign on, like, any spots they can come and help you campaign, you can let the people know.
You know, as a CEO, I also have a broadcast network. I run We Believe Digital. Yeah. Okay, and so they'll find, if you Google Socrates Garrett, you're going to spend some time reading about stuff, okay, because I'm out there pretty good. Yeah. And we have a broadcast network, so they can go to WeBelieveDigital.com or We Believe Digital platforms, and they can watch all of our videos. And so I want them to check us out there, check out our WLBT interview that we did, watch us on social media. You know, we have a dedicated social media person that works with that all day long. Yeah. So I'm an old guy, but let me tell you, I'm into social media in a major way. Yeah. And so I want them to check us out on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You know, I got 250,000 viewers on TikTok in 15 minutes on one little 3-minute clip. Yeah. You know, but it was about my life in Mississippi, and people want to hear about that.
Already. But like I said, appreciate you for coming through, man. Mr. Socrates Garrett. We'll get at y'all next week, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.